Wow, good afternoon, everybody. This is absolutely brilliant. What an event this is. We just absolutely love coming over here to the UK, and being involved here today is absolutely a huge, huge honor for us, and we're totally, totally excited to be here. Our job today is to share our story, and it is our story, so in theory I shouldn't need any notes. But just to keep us on time, I'm going to stick to the notes because it is our story. And gift of the gab, living in Ireland, we tend to waffle a little bit.
But we've only got 15 minutes, James.
Yeah, and it's counting. Right, so, okay. So hopefully we're going to share a story today. So basically, hopefully what we have experienced, hopefully you'll take something from that today and it can help you with your forever story and your forever journey. So to get us started, this is us in our forever. Our story started 9.5 years ago when Eve was initially approached about forever. As you can see from the slides, we just recently got married. That's our son, Sean. He was 2 at the time. We were building our home in my mum's front garden, so that was an experience. We were living with parents at the time. I was working very, very hard, focused on my career in the print industry, and in my head, I was too busy. And do you want to tell your part?
Yeah, so basically I was a beautician by trade. So if you know any beauticians, make sure you get on the phone straight away to them. I loved what I did, but I worked part-time. But even though I was only working part-time, I still felt extremely stretched. We just built our dream home. I was juggling being a mom, you know, the house, work, everything. Yet I just couldn't see how I could fit forever in, so I said no. But just remember, no is not always a no. Okay, so always go back to the people in your pipeline, because that first lady that approached me didn't. Okay, next slide.
Yes, sir.
You've got the clicker. Me and technology is not good. Okay, so a year later, I was approached again, 8.5 years ago, by someone else. And talk about timing. Timing is so, so important in this business. I just cannot stress that enough. I was ready. I was ready for forever. I'm a firm believer that forever comes into your life for a reason, and it came into mine twice. Except this time, I was ready to look. I was tired working for someone else. I was tired not seeing my child. I was tired running around. James and I never saw each other.
No.
Yeah, I used to say secret of a happy marriage. I can't say that anymore. So, you know, it was just mental. But when forever came into our lives again, that was the time. It was my solution. I could then see how I could be at home as a full-time mom, what I always wanted to do, and get that income coming in. But I only wanted €50 a week. So when my sponsor sat me down and said, how much do you want? I said €50 per week, because that was the difference between what I was actually earning, paying childcare, and bringing home in. Can you imagine that? €50 a week. So I quit my job immediately, and I was at home, started doing forever. And you know, when you get €50, what happens? You want more. So I very, very quickly wanted more.
Yeah. So I was involved in printing, so I had to go to college. I had to serve my time as an apprentice, and I spent 4 years doing that. And that's the approach that we brought to Forever. We treated Forever, our Forever business, like an apprenticeship. And like most apprenticeships, you start earning as you're learning. So we became a sponge. We were a student again. We learned our craft. We learned our trade. And then we had to lead other people to do the same. So that's our basic business cycle that we use, that Forever use all around the world. So we didn't do anything different than anybody else. We work closely with our mentor, Marion Fitzgerald. Now, Marion isn't our direct upline sponsor. I think there's 7, 8,
7 managers
9.
between us and Marion, yeah?
And they weren't very active in the business. But this is our business, so we had the opportunity to take control of that ourselves and work with the people that were going to help us achieve our goals. And that person for us was Marion Fitzgerald, and we're eternally grateful because she has helped us to be where we are today.
Next slide.
It's fun, isn't it?
I should have taken the clicker. Okay, so we got to manager. Okay, now this picture, manager, as a senior manager, okay, there was manager there and then senior manager. I got to manager with a 6-week-old baby. And I'd had a section. So anyone that says they can't do this around small kids, I don't believe them. okay? You can do it around small kids. Don't use your children as an excuse not to do this business. Use them as your reason to drive you, okay? So we got to manager, we got to senior manager quite quickly. Well, actually, no, it took me 1.5 years to get to manager, and then quite quickly to senior manager afterwards. But you know what? I actually still felt lost. I felt like I didn't really know where I was to go. That is the truth. I was doing well in Ireland. I was a senior manager. I was on car plan. I was doing fantastic, but I was lost. Does anyone feel like that? Because I know that that was normal. Now I know that most people can get to manager, can get to senior manager. You might even get to supervisor and suddenly think, what am I doing? Where am I? So I was like a headless chicken. I didn't know what to do. And then we sat down with Marion, and I said, I need something to focus on. Soaring seemed so far away. I said, what do I focus on? So I decided that we were going to focus on the incentives that Forevъr already had in place for us. Yeah. Okay, the travel incentives.
Different things incentivize different people, but for us, it was most definitely the travel. We got married young, we had kids young, and we weren't like our friends who were going off to Australia or off to America or anything like that. So when we were told, the reason I signed the form, to be honest, hand up now. The reason I put my name on the distributed application form was because if my name was on the form, when Niamh qualified to go on the trips, I could go too. So.
True story. When you heard those holidays involved, I'm in.
So basically, we used those trips, used those incentives to build our business unknown to ourselves. So when we look back at all of the trips and the incentives that we qualified for, we can still pinpoint the people that came into our business, that we sponsored, that we needed for that qualification. And they're there today. And our business is a result of that work that we put in years ago when qualifying for the different incentives. So we're very lucky to have those people in the team now. Sorry, next slide. But also, when you go away on these trips, you're not there on your own. You're meeting people from all around the world, and you're hearing their stories as well. And when we were here at the last managers retreat in Wales a couple of years ago, we met a fantastic lady, Ange Loughran. Angie in the room?
Ange here.
Woohoo! Ange has become a fantastic friend of ours, and also has had a huge influence on our business. We were on Facebook beforehand, and as Aidan was talking about, finding out all about animals and all the fun side of Facebook, but we learned from Ange how to use it for our business and how to use it within our team, and we're eternally grateful for that, Ange. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ange.
Ange has no financial gain from doing that with us, but as a result of qualifying for these incentives, we met Ange, and we had great fun too at the same time. So even though the focus initially was on the travel, we have built our business as a result of the trips.
Yeah. Okay, so what has Forevъr given us? Well, I have to say the big thing it has given me for 8.5 years is time. Do you know, you can buy lots of things. Money can buy everything, but it can't buy you time. I really felt from the minute I had my first child that I wanted to spend every moment of every day that I could with my children. And Forevъr has given me that. Time is absolutely golden. And I will be eternally grateful to Forevъr for allowing us to do that, or allowing me to do that for the last 8.5 years. You know, it's been amazing. I've missed nothing. I've been at every school. Well, I was going to say I've been at every school run, not quite, but I've been at a lot of them. Every school play, everything. I've missed nothing. So if you have children and you want that to be, you want to be a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, then use that as your big goal. So 2011, to bring you back a few years, that changed our business. This I always refer to as our roller coaster year. This was the year that our lives changed forever. In the January of that year, we had our third child, Hazel, who's nearly 4. I cannot believe it. And you know, we had just missed out on chairman's bonus in 2010 by about 100 cc's. So for anyone in the room that has done chairman's, you know how close that is. So we had Hazel in the January. And then what happened in the May, or in the April?
In the April, we traveled to Vienna on the European Rally, and we watched colleagues from Ireland picking up those chairman's bonus checks. And it was a kicker. We heard from the stage yesterday with one of the speakers, it's not what you've achieved, but what you missed out on that can drive your business forward. And that was a big kicker for us, that we just missed out on chairman's bonus. So we made a decision there and then that we weren't going to let it happen again. So we came home from Vienna really, really excited. And I was still working full-time in the print industry, even though with the economy and everything was going down a bit, and it wasn't a very nice place to work. But we came home really excited from Vienna, and we kind of said to ourselves, we have to put our focus away from working for somebody else's dreams and working to build somebody else's business and work to build our own. So be careful what you wish for, because in that May, I went into work after the May bank holiday, and the company had closed down. So there's no notice, no redundancy, no nothing. And that was probably the best thing that could ever happen to us, because we saw the job as like a security blanket. Yeah, our forever business was equaling what I was earning working for somebody else, but it was holding us back. And I now look back now and see it as the best thing that kind of just, your back is against the wall, your full focus is on our forever business, and we flew at it from there.
We did. That was in the May. Then in the June, my father passed away. So we went from having extreme highs to extreme lows. He'd been sick with cancer. He'd been given 6 months to live, but it lasted 4 years. So in the very end, it was very, very fast. And even though I knew he was going, I really wasn't prepared for it. So I got very, very down, didn't want to do anything, didn't want to go out, didn't want to meet people, and then suddenly woke up again in the September, literally. And I said to Marion, I rang her one day and I said, I have to do chairman's bonus, what have I to do? And I could hear in her voice, she was thinking, oh my God. So she called out to me, sat down, showed me what I had to do, and I had to do a lot, an awful lot, in the space of September, October, November, December. But you know what? You can make excuses. You can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. And I had every excuse that year, every excuse. I'd had a baby, James was made redundant, I'd lost my father, we'd had everything. But I channeled all of that into working hard. That got me up every morning, that got me focused, and we did it. Now, I have to say, it wasn't exactly for the money. As you can see, it wasn't a big check, and I remember vividly standing backstage in Budapest, and Bob Parker coming over to me and giving me a little #1 plaque. And he said, sorry, Niamh, it's the one queue you don't want to be #1 in. Because it meant I was the first check out that year. So it was the smallest check, but it was an achievement, and it's what we wanted, and we've done it every year since. So it's been fantastic. But that was the turning point.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's next? So that was the turning point in our business, because once you get it once, you have to get it again. And we have 3 people in our team this year on track to qualify for one of these checks. So we're super, super excited to see them all cross the stage. Okay, so attitude. So we only have a couple of minutes left, and a lot of people have said to me over even the last few days here in the UK, and we get asked all the time, you know, what is the big, big thing that has impacted your business over the last few years? Obviously, Forever becoming our sole income. When your back is against the wall, it's sink or swim, wouldn't you agree? So you really, 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 we had to make it work. We had a huge mortgage, we had small children. It wasn't a case if it works, it was a case when it works. So attitude is, you know, a little thing, a tiny little thing that so many people forget about. But it's all those TLT. I want you to write that down. TLT, tiny little things that every day you need to work on that will impact your business. Unbelievable. And we have worked very, very hard on this, extremely hard. I say to James regularly, we need to give ourselves a checkup from the neck up. Okay? Work on your mindset all of the time. And the remarkable thing is, every single day when you get up, you have the choice. Is it a good day or is it a bad day? Nobody else can influence that unless you allow them. Okay, so you have to really, really work on your attitude.
Another big thing that we found was the word focus. This is the one word that is going to 100% transform your business. We worked quite closely with Molly Harvey, which is a life coach, and she taught us to have Zen-like focus on our goals. So identify what you want from this business and focus in on them, and don't let anything distract you from them. All the other stuff that happens out there that you've no control on, is none of your business. focus on your goals. So there's no shortcut to success. You just focus on what you want to achieve and then get to work on it. So we love this word so much. So this is mounted on our kitchen wall. So we see this every single morning. We see it every single day, the word focus. And it's always in the back of our mind. When something's going on in life, what do I need to focus on?
And you know, it works with the kids as well. They keep throwing these words back at us now every day.
Yeah.
Sarah's like, Mom, focus on what you're doing, because they're seeing it every day. But you know, the impact this business has on your children is amazing. They are growing up with the mindset of an entrepreneur and a positive mindset, which is the most amazing thing. It's the biggest gift that you can give your children, is what Forevъr can give you. And then the last thing is action. You know, you can have the right attitude, you can be 100% focused, but you know what, if you become a training junkie, I was a training junkie, I used to go to everything. I was at everything, have my notepad, write it all out, close it, put it away, and then take it out at the next training and say, oh, look at that, wasn't that great? You know, but you have to take action. So you see there, you know, if you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate, you have to keep working this business. Never, ever, ever, ever give up. And just remember that we are what we repeatedly do. So if you're not taking action, your business will not work. So we only have control over 3 things in our lives: the thoughts we think, the images we visualize, and the actions we take. And it's completely your choice. So what impact has this had on our business? I came to the big event, or we came to the big event, sorry, James, last year with 1 qualifying manager in our team. Now, how many is here today? We now have in our downline 23 managers. So we have 8. We need 1 more manager for Sapphire. We've 8. So we started this year as senior managers. We're now soaring. We're nearly at Sapphire. But the thing is, they're all duplicating. So, you know, they are doing what we're doing, which is absolutely brilliant. We work with the most remarkable group of people, and we feel truly blessed every day to work with these people. We know, you know, the value of our leaders, and we really, really, really appreciate them, don't we? Yeah. They're fantastic. But, you know, what impact has this had on our lives? You know, it is just very, very hard to put it into words, what this company has done for us. Not only is it our sole income, we don't just survive, we have an incredible lifestyle. I'm 32 years old, and the lifestyle that Forevъr has given me is just, if I worked 1 million hours in a salon, we couldn't do it. It gives us peace of mind. You know, roll back 5, 6 years ago, I was always on online banking. What's in the bank account? Is there enough money to pay the mortgage? You know, if something unexpected happened, oh, I don't know if we can afford that. Oh, the car needs a service. Can anyone relate to that? Where you're almost in a sense of panic. I can't remember the last time I checked online banking. I know James does it, but I don't even ask him. Because I know that Forevъr has given us an income that will cover everything. Our mortgage is paid for on the 1st of every month now, instead of trying to get it together at the end of the month. It is just amazing. You know, our debt is going down. As you saw on the first slide, we built our dream home at the age of 20, what were we, 4, 3, I don't know, it's all a big blur. We were in our 20s anyway. And, you know, we had a big mortgage. And I know that by the age of 35, our mortgage will be gone. And we will be debt-free. Yeah. But it's not all about the money. The big, 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 big reason why I get up every morning, why we work this business as hard as we do, is for our 3 children. As you can imagine, with the 2 of us doing it now, obviously we're working hard. We are working hard, but we work smart. Everything is scheduled around our children. We drop off, we pick up. Their social life is better than our social life. They have after-school activities every day, and that's another thing. We used to have to make the children choose. Did they want swimming? Did they want ballet? Did they want basketball? What is it you want to do? Because we can't afford all the activities, because it's nearly €100 for each activity. Now our children are in every activity after school, and I say, you can let us know when you don't want to do something anymore. But we haven't had to think twice about it. So for us, that is our big, big reason. They're our driving force behind this business. The last thing I want to leave you on is this saying, which drives me every day. Your why needs to make you cry. I heard it at a training, and it stuck with me. Normally I cry. I was rehearsing these slides this morning and I cried. Thank God I don't cry because I have no tissue. But you know, your why does need to make you cry. And you need to keep looking until you find that connection, that you're willing to work hard at this business to make it succeed, why you want it. And then just to finish off, because I'm having lights flashing at me everywhere here. I knew I'd be dragged off kicking and screaming once I got up here. James and I would just like to really, really, really thank everybody. I'd like to thank Bob for the remarkable job he does, Bill in the Irish office, Deborah, all of our head office in Ireland, you know, for that phone call. Would you like to speak at the big event? When I said yes, my head was saying no. You know, thank you to all the UK distributors for all your kind words yesterday and today. I'm sure you could see the panic in my eyes anytime you saw me, and for welcoming us. But the biggest thank you to Aidan, Greg, Rex, all the home office staff for giving us a life. So thank you, everybody.